What's happening, guys? I'm Dan. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. We're diving back into more Arvon beer, and it's not a hazy, it's not a sour, guys. It's going to be a New Zealand Pilsner. Yes, we like when they branch out and try different categories of beer. They've been doing that for a long time now. But the cool thing about this beer, it's a collaboration beer, and it's done with Watermark, which is in Stevensville, I believe, Michigan. So we have a cool collaboration beer done between the two breweries. Not the fanciest of beers, but I feel like Pilsners and lagers are more prominent and more impactful than ever. I feel like they've come around. The pendulum swung one way into the hazies. It's come back the other way. Old school. Now we got Pilsners. Hot thing again, guys. So we like trying these and breaking them down for you. This is a New Zealand Pilsner brewed in collaboration with Watermark Brewing Co. It's brewed with Riwaka and NZ Cascade hops. 4.8% ABV. Do not know the can-on date, but it's remarkably fresh, I imagine, because it was just dropped into distribution a few days ago. So cool can art. They're keeping that going. Again, more collaboration beers in the works. I feel like Arvon's done a lot of these recently, and there's more to come on this channel. I do have quite a few. One of the most noteworthy ones is the Aztec Time Machine, excuse me. And we'll talk about this one another day, and that's done with Founders Brewing Company. But today, it's about Watermark, it's about Arvon. Let's get into this one. We'll dive into it with the Michigan glassware, and we'll see what is up. Today, it's like 60 degrees again in Michigan. Amazing. Talk about the pendulum swinging. It went winter, it went back to spring, summer, went back to winter. Now it's back to spring today and tomorrow. Beautiful days. So guys, that's worth sharing a beer about, right? So let's dive into this. Boom. Look at that. We like hashtag clear beer. Look at this. Intense carbonation. Very intense. Looks fantastic. Already getting straight whiffs of like tropical, and it's not even hitting my nose yet. That's bizarre for being a Pilsner, but it smells very bright and fruity. Let's go. Man, I just love this. I just love the way this beer looks. Look at that. Let's get an official aroma. Ooh, dankness. Dank is what I'm smelling. That is such a unique smell. It's like, it's dank, it's grassy, it's like a touch tropical. So I'm getting tropical notes that are bursting. I'm getting a lot of citrus, predominantly grapefruit and lemon. And it's just a hybrid of all of those things put together into this intensely, almost hopped Pilsner. It smells just all over the place. And it's getting like more dank the more I smell it. It smells so strong and bright. It's just hopping all over the spectrum between citrus, maybe even stone fruit, but I think it's tropical. I think it's grapefruit, dank, like resinous dankness for days and days, oily bark, fruity goodness, a little bit of bubblegum, like a lemon lime twist. It's very aromatic for being a Pilsner, like absurdly aromatic. It just smells crazy, and I think grassy dankness and citrus and tropical is just bombarding my nostrils, guys, in all the right ways, but it smells like almost like a big IPA for a moment. I don't know what hop that is. I have smelled this. It's like diesel-y dank citrus. Like it's absurd. It's just absurdly dank for being a New Zealand fade is what we call this. So guys, I don't know. Let's dive in. Let's see what this one is. It's pretty crazy so far. Cheers. Cheers, Arvon. Cheers, Watermark. Taste follows, man. It's like oily, dank citrus. I do still get tropical notes, like they're generic tropical, but it's got this huge bite of bitterness on the back end, that dank, grassy pine resin on the back end. Man, it's super, super bitter for being a Pilsner. Absurd, and just dries out your palate. Like my palate feels like the Sahara Desert right now. I mean, I'm not kidding, which is inviting to go back in for another sip to re-wet the whistle, I call it. Absurd. oily grapefruit, like super oily, slight bittering, the skin of the grapefruit, the pith of the grapefruit. You're biting into the flesh of the grapefruit, but it's so dry, it's so bitter. It's got a slight like sour lemon lime touch to it, so that citrus is playing off one another. And then this kind of like slightly breadier mouthfeel follows suit, but it's clean, still very clean. It's not like it's overly bready. And then it just bombards you with a little bit of like dank tropical grass notes, this resinous pine finish, and just drying your palate out just through the ringer, man. That's crazy. Absurd. Like, I feel like, have I seen this beer before? I don't know. Like, new NZ Fade sounds like that they've done this, but I just don't remember. I really don't remember. I did not review this one. But boy, it's worthy of a pickup, guys. It's just absurd. Like, something that you're going to remember. Like, I don't know if everybody's going to love it for what it is, because it's again, this Pilsner, but it comes in almost like an IPA, super hopped up. Again, diesely, dank grapefruit, lemon lime citrus, a touch pineapple, a touch mango, but that gets so overpowered by the citrus, just completely overpowered. And again, that soft middle, it's clean, it's slightly bready and malty, but it goes away because you're just destroyed with a ton of dry bitterness and resinous pine on the back end. Guys, it's crazy. It's a crazy beer at 4.8. It feels way heavier than that, yet it is crushable. It's just absurdly hopped for being in this category, in my opinion. But what the hell do I know at the end of the day? Do I like this? Yes. But it's almost a bit harsh. It's almost IPA, like crazy double IPA back ends. It's giving me vibes like that. It's crazy at 4.8. Almost like a touch of dry white grape too. Just, it wants this like juicy quality to come through, and it just never does. It just never does, because you're hit with dry bitterness, man. And maybe I'm being over the top, but I'm telling you, that back end is fierce. It's so strong, and it bites your palate a little bit. Like, the maltiness and the bitterness like kind of catches up to you on the back end. But it's not like it's too hearted malty. I'm talking just bready notes that just dry the frick out, man. Crazy beer. I don't know where to rate this, to be quite honest. Weird, kind of, for a Pilsner, but New Zealand Pilsner, right? So it's a little bit different than normal. Shoot. Of course it's hoppy. It's freaking Arvon, right? And Watermark collabing. I'm going to go with a 3.9 out of 5. It's absurd. It's crazy. It's hoppy. It's different. It's just not what I was truly 100% expecting, but not in a bad way. So that's where I stand today, guys. NZ Fade, I should call it, and Watermark, Arvon. It is what it is. Crazy beer. Over and out. Cheers.